Some animals can see ultraviolet light, meaning they can detect light with shorter wavelengths than what humans can see. Human eyes can typically see wavelengths from about 400 to 700 nanometers, which is the range of visible light. But there's a lot more to the light spectrum than what we can see. There are wavelengths shorter than what we can see called ultraviolet or UV light, and wavelengths longer than what we can see called infrared light. Insects like honeybees, butterflies, and flies can see ultraviolet light. These insects have special receptors in their eyes that allow them to see UV light. This ability helps them in many ways, like when they're looking for flowers to collect nectar and pollen from. Many flowers reflect UV light, and this helps insects like honeybees and butterflies to locate them. They can also use these special UV receptors to see patterns on the petals of flowers that humans cannot see, so it helps them to tell the different types of flowers apart. Some birds can also see UV light. Birds like sparrows, pigeons, and hummingbirds have eyes with UV receptors too. Seeing UV light helps them find food and also find mates. Some birds can use UV reflective patterns on feathers to help them identify other birds of the same species, especially during mating season when they're looking for a partner. Certain fish, like mandarin fish and cichlids, can detect UV light. Being able to see UV light helps them identify members of their own species, find food, or avoid predators. For example, some cichlid fish have special markings that reflect UV light. These markings help them recognize each other as members of the same species. And this is important because some cichlids live in groups with several different species together, so they need a way to tell the difference between each other. And some reptiles, like lizards and snakes, can see UV light. This ability helps them navigate, hunt, and defend their territory. For example, some desert-dwelling reptiles rely on UV light for navigation. They can use the sun's UV rays to help them find their way around. This is especially helpful when temperatures are high because it helps them avoid overheating. Seeing UV light also helps them hunt. Some reptiles, like the bearded dragon, are able to see the UV signatures of their prey. This allows them to spot their next meal even when it's trying to hide. Lastly, seeing in the UV spectrum allows them to mark their territory. Many reptiles have special glands that produce chemicals which they then spread over rocks and other objects in their territory. These chemical markings help them tell their area apart from the areas of other reptiles. And guess what? Their UV vision helps them see these markings so they know where they're supposed to be. Now let's take a look at some of the animals that can see ultraviolet light and why this ability might be useful for them. Number 1, insects. You heard me talk about insects earlier in the video, but I wanted to go into more detail about why UV vision is important for them. Insects are probably the most common animals that can see ultraviolet light. Many insects like bees, butterflies, and ants have eyes that can detect ultraviolet radiation. This ability helps them in several ways. First, it helps them find plants with nectar and pollen. As I mentioned before, many flowers reflect ultraviolet light, making them stand out against the sky. This is especially helpful for insects that feed on nectar and pollen because they need to visit lots of flowers to find enough food. Second, UV vision helps insects see patterns on the petals of flowers that humans can't see. This helps them tell the different types of flowers apart. That's important because different flowers have different amounts of nectar and pollen. So insects need to be able to find the flowers with the most food quickly. Also, being able to see UV light helps insects communicate with each other. Some insects, like bees, leave chemical markings on flowers to tell other insects that the flower has already been visited. These markings are invisible to humans, but other insects can see them, so they know to move on to another flower. Number 2, some birds. Many birds can see ultraviolet light, and this ability helps them in several ways. First, it helps them find food. Many birds eat fruit, and fruit is often brightly colored to attract birds. The colors that we see are in the visible light spectrum, but birds can see ultraviolet colors too. This means that birds can see more colors than we can, and they use this ability to find fruit quickly. Birds also use UV vision to find mates. Some birds have feathers that reflect ultraviolet light, and this helps them stand out against the sky. This is especially important during mating season when birds are looking for a partner. It's also important for navigation. Being able to see the sky and clouds helps birds stay on course during long flights. This is especially important for birds that migrate long distances each year. Number 3, some fish. Certain types of fish can see ultraviolet light, and this ability helps them in several ways. First, it helps them find food. Many fish eat other fish, and the fish they eat are often brightly colored. The colors that we see are in the visible light spectrum, but fish can see ultraviolet colors too. This means that fish can see more colors than we can, and they use this ability to find food quickly. Fish also use UV vision to avoid predators. Many fish are eaten by larger fish, and the larger fish are often brightly colored. The colors that we see are in the visible light spectrum, but fish can see ultraviolet colors too. This means that fish can see more colors than we can, and they use this ability to avoid predators. Number 4, some reptiles. Many reptiles can see ultraviolet light, and this ability helps them in several ways. First, it helps them navigate. Many reptiles are cold-blooded, so they rely on the sun to warm them up. They use UV light to find the warmest spots in their environment. This is especially important when temperatures are high because it helps them avoid overheating. Being able to see UV light also helps them hunt. Many reptiles eat other animals, and the animals they eat are often good at hiding. They can use UV light to see the animals even when they're hiding. This is especially true for nocturnal reptiles since they hunt at night when there isn't much visible light. Lastly, UV vision helps them mark their territory. Many reptiles have special glands that produce chemicals, which they then spread over rocks and other objects in their territory. These chemical markings help them tell their area apart from the areas of other reptiles. And guess what? Their UV vision helps them see these markings so they know where they're supposed to be. Lastly, other animals, dogs and cats, can see ultraviolet light too, but not as strongly as insects or birds. Instead, their eyes are partially sensitive to UV light. This means they can see some things that we can't see, like the UV signature of certain toys. This is why your cat may be able to see your laser pointer when you play with them, even though you can't see it yourself. Some sea turtles can also see UV light, and this helps them find food and avoid predators. And some birds of prey use UV light to find prey, like some owls and hawks. So now you know that some animals like insects, birds, fish, and reptiles can see ultraviolet light. And you learned about a few reasons why this ability might be helpful for them, like finding food, avoiding predators, recognizing mates, and navigating. Pretty cool, right? If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about nature and science, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you'll join me next time for more fun. Thanks for watching.